Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Find a Way podcast with Dusty. Hopefully you're doing well on your journey. For me, I am actually just settling back to get back to work. It's been 2 months, and I'm really grateful that I've had those 2 months to rest and recover, especially with the stitch abscess that was unexpected. That happened right before my 4-week appointment. And if you actually look at the incision and where the line was, it looks like it was together, but then at some point it came apart, and I think it had a lot to do with the remaining stitch that they had to remove. And so, whether it was, from what I'm hearing, that stitch conjoining area is very common. Some of you have even mentioned that that is a spot that you had the same surgery as I, and very similar connection point. But I'm just grateful that I was able to have more time to rest. I wish I could have another month just to be sure that it's closed, because it's still not closed before I go back. But 2 months is the longest that I think my job is going to let me stay behind. But I think with that, coincidentally, the school is starting here where I'm at. So you see a lot of cool kids getting on the school bus for the first time. School bus is getting back on its rotation, so it kind of feels like I'm going back to something that I've just not known for 2 months. And my job at times can be very stressful, so it's like, okay, what's coming? What's coming? Because it's a fairly new role that I'm in. But the reason I bring that up is what I'm working on is rhythm, and I'm going to have to be working on rhythm. I have found it very beneficial for my particular journey to intermittent fast, typically between the morning time up until 12 o'clock. And I usually have an eating window between 12 and 8. Well, I haven't done that the entirety of my recovery. It's just been breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, focusing on high protein, hydration, and minimizing added sugars, which that's been pretty much my MO the entire journey that I've been on. But I'm going to be going back to intermittent fasting because I actually do feel better. I like waking up in the morning empty. I feel like I'm a little bit more alert. I feel like food just grogs me down a little bit. I feel different, or I feel heavier. I don't feel as flexible and loose. It just works for me. It's not a advertisement of, you see folks on particular diets and they become the poster person for that. I'm not trying to be the poster of intermittent fasting. I've just found it beneficial for my particular journey. So because I'm in that rotation of kind of getting back into that rhythm, I want to pick that up again. Well, because I want to pick that up again, it's now getting into a kind of that rhythm starter to where that first initial week, that first initial 2 weeks is going to be tough because I'm used to a particular process, a particular rhythm, and I'm having to change that. And I think that's the heart of all of us wanting to change something in our journey is, we get into a rhythm, and that rhythm, I've talked about rhythm many times before, but it gets us up to our top weight. Well, we have to start anew. Well, here I am starting anew, even 8 years in. 8 years into my journey, and I'm still starting a new rhythm. I think that's just kind of an encouragement that, you're not going to arrive at a moment, but you're always going to have to start. I mean, really, I've had to take 2 months off the gym from muscle workouts, lifting any kind of heavier weight. And I did a side-by-side picture for my recent YouTube video, and the definition in my chest has really, really gone down, really diminished. And that's going to come back when I get back into the rhythm and flow of things. But, I mean, just think about the discouragement that could really bring any of us. Discouragement it's brought on my journey is, man, I've worked so hard. I mean, think about all the videos of working out and the different variations of WOTD. You've all seen, if you're connected to my Instagram, my stories that have WOTD, which is workout of the day. I've done all those for that long that all of a sudden now here I am 8 years in, and it's just it's gone. The work is gone. So I wanted to provide a little bit more of a parallel to our perspective journeys, that we're all on a journey. It just looks different. And my journey of recovery has similarities to your journey. My journey of getting back into the rhythm has similarities to yours. And my process of getting muscle definition back. I'm very, very swollen still. So I even have to consider that I'm very, very swollen. So it's all these things that come to a point of real contention, or a point of me mentioning that you're on a journey. Find a Way with Dusty is the podcast. You're on a journey, listening to the podcast for possible encouragement on your journey. Well, can I just provide a parallel that I'm on that with you, and I'm just sharing where I'm at, so that it possibly provides a parallel that if I can do it, you can do it? Because that's the core of this whole thing. It's not, you just see all these individuals online, all these individuals with podcasts. It's like this elevated, like I see a lot of the carnivore recently. Nothing against carnivore, just recently I've seen a lot of podcasts where individuals become the face of, you need to be doing carnivore because you're going to be wiping out all this stuff that you've got going on, and you're going to need to do that. It's like this elevated, like authoritative, and you don't have any connection with them besides the recommendations and tips that they give. There's no real bond, parallel. Hey, you're doing it with me. Hey, you're going through it. There are others that will share their journey of, hey, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what I'm doing. I've seen a couple folks do videos where it's like, okay, I've got a parallel journey. That's simply what following someone or using someone's journey or succeeding on your journey should look like, is that it isn't an elevated position of someone who's lost the weight, elevated position because someone's telling you to do a particular diet. It's, where can I find the parallels, because exactly what they're doing and going through, I'm doing and going through. They haven't arrived, and maybe I'll just, would you say because I've labeled my Instagram Dusty lost 300 pounds that I've arrived, that I can't gain that weight back and have to do it again? I see it all the time. I see individuals all the time lose the weight, become known for losing the weight, and then disappear. Why did they disappear? Because they gained it back. And maybe the way that they did it was the way to get attention, and was the way to provide, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. It can provide that encouragement, that spark of yes. But really, that may not have worked for them, and shouldn't have been something that they did, because it didn't work long term. And was it a waste? I mean, losing it, gaining it all back, was that time a waste? That's where the patience sticks in. That's where doing it right for me. Like, you almost have to say that to yourself and repeat that to yourself, that I've got to do what's best for me. And I've got to do what works for me. And I can't just mirror or follow an individual, that I've got to do what's best for me in my journey. Because there are things that play. Like, I think about earlier, how many times I've lost weight and gained it back. That did something considerably to my body. And you can look, oh, internally you've got this going. No, but let's just look at the skin. I've got stretch marks from certain gain backs that didn't just disappear, unlike what the creams tell you. Put this on this now and you'll have zeros. No. Stop it. Just stop it. I've gotten stretch marks from certain gain backs. So it's like, was it a waste? Maybe. If you didn't learn anything from the prior time, it's not a waste. But is it harming you? Yeah. Gaining the weight back is harming you. It's hurting you. It's putting you in a worse off position because now you've got stretch marks that you wouldn't have had if you just took your time and did it right. So don't get more stretch marks. I'm telling you, it's like I feel like most of my skin, I mean, just relating to my skin surgery, most of my front skin became a lot of stretch mark material to where, to be honest, when my surgeon removed my 12 pounds of skin and she restitched and moved things over, like my vertical stretch marks now are my horizontal connecting in the middle stretch marks. Well, a lot of my skin in the middle is all stretch marks. I don't even know where skin is. It's just all stretch marks. And I tell you, it still hurts when I stretch in certain ways. It feels very sensitive at the base of the stretch mark. Not so much the outer end, but each stretch mark feels very tender. And so that pretty much means that my entire midsection is constantly tender. And yes, of course it could be connected to the surgery and things are going to get better over time, but those larger stretch marks to where they get almost pinkish, like that's my entire midsection. So the diet that I did to just lose that 50 pounds, that I ended up doing wrong, that I ended up gaining 70 back, added stretch marks that I'm now living with to be somewhat normal without loose skin. It's like almost the heaviness of, like I'm thinking about my kids. They learn where they've got an owie from. Like my daughter, just recently on our play set, she got a splinter in her foot. And man, that was an event to get that splinter out. It was like, it was rough because it sounded like we were torturing her, but we were just trying to get the splinter out and she didn't want to stay still to get it out. Well, she's a little bit more cautious now getting on the play set. It's like, that's, ooh. And it's like a lot of success can come from, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But that's where, was it a waste? That's a good question. Depending on if, like, I know I sound spotty, but I'm hopefully this is all connecting, that I have asked many people that have been on the journey, hey, I'm starting to lose weight again. Okay, well, what's different this time? Well, I'm just going to muster up the strength and I'm just going to, there's no detailed plan. Like, think about, you can almost do this without a coach or without someone having to coach you, which is pretty cool. You'll save some money. You don't have to go to a coach. I'm not saying don't go to a coach, but think about your plan of action, your health journey. Think about your plan to lose weight. You've got to develop a proposal that when somebody asks you, what's different this time, you've got to be able to present it and have points like you were speaking before a Fortune 100 company, where you're able to articulate the points and be very direct on what's going to be different than all the other times before. If I've been on 50 plus dates trying to lose weight, I should be able to speak to what didn't work because I've got 50 plus experiences of it not working. So, what's going to be different? What's different this time? That takes time to develop. That's what we don't want. We don't want it to take time, but I mean, what's different? If you're presenting points, valid bullet points, if somebody was presenting you, like if you were, think about all the salesmen, if they go door to door, someone's trying to sell you something, and it's like, if they're not quick, articulate, and know their stuff, their doubt and hesitation, someone's just going to shoo them away and close the door on them. It's someone who's very articulate, someone who's very smooth, quick, able to get to the points, and just deliver with ease. You've got to be able to deliver with ease if somebody were to say, what's different this time? Like, oh, well, I've never tracked before. I'm going to track this time. I'm going to see if tracking is the way to go for me. Okay. Sure, you can probably hear that. I don't know what you can hear, what you can't. I'll probably have to listen back and see. But I'm going to track this time. I haven't tracked before. Okay, so that's a good difference. This time I'm going to be a little bit more moderate with my weight loss. I'm not going to hope that I lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I'm going to really set a realistic, appropriate goal of 1 to 2 pounds. This time I'm going to log my weight, so that way when I go through 3 weeks of not losing, I can't be discouraged because I lost 12 pounds in the 3 weeks prior, so I'm just evening out to that 1.5 pounds per week. It's not like in 6 weeks I haven't lost the weight I was hoping for. I just lost it in a different way. I lost it all up front, and then it just stayed the same weight for 3 weeks. I'm going to make a log, an Excel spreadsheet of my weight every single day so I can catch that. I can learn that. Okay. What's different this time? You've got to be able to articulate that. So, hoping this encourages you on your journey. Thanks again for listening to this particular episode, and I will talk to you on the next one. And on the next one, I will be days into work. So hopefully, the next time Dusty shows up, he's in a good headspace. Because he's got to go back to work after 2 months. And that was a good time with my kids. Okay. Can't wait to hold my kids. I'm out of here. See ya.